you don't already know. We're really pleased with that. Stayed steady despite the nationwide declines. And it is because we have great schools, great property. We have controlled development. We have a very strong council. After council comes in and says we want controlled, managed growth. For a variety of ways we've got that going, but that's what we have. I know it's hard to get an unusual building. It's hard to get multiple buildings in, but once people own their houses, they know that their property is going to stay stable. And we have well-maintained parks, and I love our parks and our trails. They are really an amenity that once people get into their homes, understand how useful those are and how important they are for their children and older people. Okay, next. Community development. Here's probably the agency that you all deal with over and over again. We have 3 parts to our community development: the planning department, the building inspection department, and code enforcement. Community development department ensures there's careful managed growth in the city, and it gets its marching orders from council after council on that. We have high development standards and an active and predictable code enforcement. I know that people will come and say, Ann, why can't we fix this? Why can't we move? Why can't we change something? And we try to make sure within our own philosophical standards, but I just want to, this is what keeps Saratoga looking so great and being such a high quality city. Let's talk about the planning department itself. For 2009-2004, our new marching orders from the state on housing units, every city gets allocated a goal of housing units for below market rate, at market rate housing. Our long-term plan requirements have gone up this year for the next 5 years. And Saratoga is allocated a goal of the 292 new housing, and of those, 90 fall at the very low income bracket, 68 are low, 77 are moderate, and 57 are above. That doesn't mean we're not building a lot of above market rate housing, but this is we are mandated, as every city is, to reflect these regional housing needs. Building division. In 2007, 1,583 building permits were issued. Building activity included 25 new single-family homes and 120 significant additions or renovations. It means over 50% remodel. And these permits have a total construction value of nearly $66 million. So we're active in our building division, and we're moving very fast. All right, code enforcement, and this is everybody. Everybody complains about it, except when you have a neighbor that's doing something that you don't want, and you want that code enforcement. So it ensures the building and property meets minimum maintenance standards. We just have a new code that came through about that because we've had a couple of abandoned homes for a variety of reasons, and we wanted those homes to be kept at a minimum rate or a minimum level so that it didn't impact the neighborhood. We have the high standards, active enforcement, and I want to make sure you understand about tree permits. We love our trees in Saratoga, and so if you're helping people buy a home, it's real important to let them know that if they come in and say, well, I'm going to buy that house, but this tree may go, remind them that they need a permit. Otherwise, they get into trouble, and then we have to fine them, and that's no fun. So the tree permit is on our website. They can go and look at that. Open house signs also are not permitted on medians on the public right-of-way, such as sidewalks. On the day of the open house, all signs must be removed no later than 6 p.m. Between November and March, and by April and October. So that's the news from Saratoga. Okay, so next one. Okay, here's how to get all that information. You can go online, saratoga.ca.us with a /comdev/index for building codes, for general plans, so you can find out what the zoning map is, applications and forms are on there, and tree removal requirements are there. So that's a real important slide for you all. Okay, the last one, I want to end on an up note because this is my very favorite part. I hike a lot, we're out and about. Our beautiful parks and trails, this is an amenity that our neighbors, the neighbors in all our community areas really love, and we take great pride in that. We don't have a lot of money, but we renovated every one of them over the last 10 years. I've been on the city council 10 years. We've set aside money each year for that. And so we've been slowly renovating them. So we have organized sports, we have parks that have unorganized sports, you know, the passive use, and we have a lot of trails. And we just are beginning to work on the North Campus, which some of you may know about. 2 of the buildings are being renovated now, along with some help from some local citizens that gave some money for this renovation, which I really appreciate. And we're going to have beautiful buildings. And then the front part, I think we're going to be going for a gym, because we don't have enough gym space in our schools. And so we're going to have a gym for adults and kids at the front end. And that's one that we're going to have to use the community and go out to the community and get some donations in many ways. So that's the next phase. So we're always renovating to keep our parks up to the standards that are expected. Let's see. I think that's about it. If we have questions, I'd be happy to answer them. It looks like there's a...
Just curious, you might not be able to answer this question here, but maybe indirectly. What is the overall city budget for last year, or for this year?
Well, we have a $16 million budget. General fund budget. $5 million comes from our the property tax. We're the same size. We have 33,000 people in Saratoga. We're the same size as Los Gatos, except we look smaller because we don't have the commercial. So our commercial is a little under $1 million. That's what we get from it. The state's going to, I was just telling you, the state is going to be taking money away from all the cities. I know that we're a balanced budget. We've set aside $2 million because we know the state has the right to, when it's unbalanced, it can reach into our back pocket and take money from us. Just tell us how much to send. So we've got $2 million. We think that's going to cover it. So we're not going to be surprised, but it's a sad state when poop flows downhill. The money has to come out of our pocket. So, any other questions? Great, I'm glad to be of help today.
I want to thank the mayor for taking the time.